Little moments now through the day where you'll sit down and you'll fold your arms and suddenly they're not sitting out here. You kind of go, oh shit,
on a beer belly.
Don't have that big gut anymore. These guys have a guarantee for a reason. Just get it done.
Alrighty, here we are at Powerhouse Gym Southside with MPT Rebuild and success story Brenton Henry, all the way from Melbourne, Victoria today, mate. Flew in at the, 9 a.m, I think?
Yeah. I got on the plane at 9 a.m.
Got on the plane, yep. So we're going to crash an arm workout today and have a chat about how you lost 23
kilos of fat.
23 kilos of fat in your early 40s with 2 kids and a full-time business.
Yes.
Excellent, let's do it.
Many reps later.
External rotation, which is this, holding shoulders back.
Yeah.
You want no gap here.
Yeah.
Beautiful. On the way in especially. As I said before, we're going through arms today. We're going to go tricep, bicep, tricep, bicep, tricep, bicep. In my experience, it's the best way to get an arm pump and to not lose or limit performance. You do 3 bicep exercises back to back. Typically, by the second and third, you're running out of gas. Whereas if you interchange it with tricep, in my experience over the years, it's worked quite well. While we're catching our breath in between sets, mate, do you want to tell me a little bit about your rebuild results?
In the first 12 weeks, I lost roughly 11 kilos.
Just under a kilo a week, right?
Just under a kilo a week.
Yep.
Mind you, we had like Christmas holidays in there, my birthday, Valentine's Day, everything under the sun.
Plenty of roadblocks.
Few roadblocks. We did okay, but ask
Very
man. And then over the course of the 9-month period, I think we spent the next 12 weeks doing a bit of building, and then the next 12 weeks after that was more weight loss. And so yeah, got to around 23 kilos of fat lost, 2 kilos of muscle on.
That's an in-body scan?
That's on an in-body scan, yeah.
Yep. We call that a rebuild or a recomp, where you're able to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. In your early 40s, with kids, a business, without any intervention, correct?
Yeah, well that's
no
right.
TRT,
No
trend, no peptides?
No.
All you fucking trolls online, did you hear that? None of that stuff, right?
Well, that was one of the key things I wanted to avoid is all that stuff, all that fake shit. Didn't want to go anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Just needed someone to help me fix my diet and improve what I was doing in the gym.
Yeah, put on muscle while you're losing fat.
Yeah.
All right, naturally.
I've been this size before, not very often, but I've never looked like this.
Yeah, spot on. So what other areas you love would you say have improved, along with the weight loss and muscle gain?
I'm a much better role model for my kids, I feel. It's pretty hard to tell them they shouldn't be having that extra glass of soft drink or
cheeseburger,
or,
you're doing it.
Why can't we have nuggets and chips today, Dad? Well, because it's not good for you, but when I'm sitting there with probably 30 kilos too many on me, it's a pretty hard argument to make. Probably a better husband as well,
yep.
I feel. What I became when I was 30 kilos too heavy was definitely not what my wife married. And she would never say, I don't want to be with you because you're fat. But to be honest, she probably really shouldn't have to. She should never be in that position. She didn't marry someone who weighed 110 kilos. She married someone who weighed much closer to 80. I felt that I probably needed to make sure that out of all the things that you can actually control in life, that's one thing.
What about as a business owner? Do you reckon you've had a little bit more energy, mental focus, confidence, things like that?
Yeah, well, just on a very basic level, my office is on the first story and there's no lift. And I used to go up those stairs and be puffed by the time I got to the top of them, just one flight. So yeah, actually able to get into the office without puffing now, that's pretty good. Yeah. Finding it a lot easier to make decisions, you need to, my business, I'm a financial advisor, you're making decisions every day, hundreds of them.
Yeah.
You can't really afford to be slow or wrong. Much better position now than I was 25 kilos ago.
Spot on, yeah. I think it's probably understated in our society how much that brain fog limits your ability to make decisions as a business owner, as a father, as a husband, etc.
Yeah.
And a lot of that brain fog does come from being unhealthily overweight, which our DEXA scan showed us that you were at the start as a fat percentage, you were 35% body fat, whether a healthy male, at any age is meant to be.
No, that's right.
And that does come with side effects that most of us don't realise or put in the she'll be right bucket, as the Aussie culture does.
Oh, look, I had the doctor telling me my cholesterol was too high. It was still another 6 months and 5 kilos before I did anything about that too. It's not just necessarily about the aesthetics, the health component, the visceral fat. I'm talking to my 12-year-old son now about visceral fat. It's not, it's getting in shape and being in the gym's not about having abs and looking good for the girls necessarily, although that's a positive side effect. Your visceral fat is going to cause you problems down the track, and if you don't control it, you're going to be in trouble.
You're in trouble, yeah, amazing. Well, I mean, when you rocked up, I was surprised how young you looked, to be honest. Like, I know you got the tan and you've had a shave and a fade, but looking at your starting photos, which I'm sure we'll show as B-roll, like to me, it looks like you've gained back at least 10 years. Like you look 10 years younger in person than you do in your starting photos 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Would you say that you feel slightly younger as well?
Yeah, well, yes, I do. About people have mentioned it as well. Even the hairdresser. I think I was sitting in the chair with the hairdresser and she was asking me if I've got kids, and I said I've got a 12-year-old, and she's like, oh, you must have started early.
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't really. I started when I was 30.
Yep.
Those sorts of things are nice when you hear them. You kind of think, well, that's obviously something's showing, you know.
Agree. You've spoken a lot about some of the benefits that you've gotten from doing the rebuild after you pulled the trigger. Were you skeptical originally? And I'm pretty sure I know this answer. The answer is yes. What did you use to overcome that skepticism and actually do something about it?
Not skeptical so much. We've talked about how there's a lot of information online in the fitness industry.
And finance, right?
And finance, yeah. So you can find information that anything that you want. If you want to confirm what you already know, you'll be able to find it. That what I knew was wrong, otherwise I wouldn't have been in the position that I was in. So I needed to know that there was going to be someone who could basically correct whatever I was doing, and for the long term as well, and actually teach me something new that I couldn't have already found out by myself with any degree of certainty. The big thing for me was your guarantee.
Yep.
That if we followed what you were doing, that we would lose that initial 10. That was the trigger for me, really. It then just became about making sure that the dollars were in the bank account.
Yep.
And once we had that, there was no issues.
Amazing. Okay. And would you say that you're happy with that investment and that decision?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Would never take it back, ever. It's been literally life-changing, and I just couldn't have asked for more. If you'd said to me that I'd be in the position I was in now, you probably could have charged double, but I probably shouldn't tell you that.
No, you should say that. I'm not going to charge you double, but it's interesting in the fitness space, like we were talking about earlier. You know, oftentimes people won't compare apples with apples,
Yeah.
And they're going like, "Why are you guys priced like that when I can get an online coach for $60 a week?" And it's like, you're not getting an online coach for $6 a week. You're getting an app. You know, you're getting access to an app.
Yeah.
Whereas what we do, as you know, it's coaching. It's customized to the point of we need you to do a body composition scan, so I know what to give you. Would you say that we were like the experience kind of met your expectations, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the first ad that I saw of you.
You can be honest here.
I think you were walking the dog.
Ah, right.
And you were talking about how maybe as a bricklayer who works from 6 until 6, you shouldn't be doing a fasted workout in the morning.
Correct.
Straight away I was like, I'm not a bricklayer, so that has nothing to do with me. But straight away you're thinking, okay, well, there's definitely some level of customization there. It's been built for the individual. And then you talked about the guy who was carrying 40 kilos too many, probably shouldn't be doing barbell squats. Yep. So, like, again, just customization, building it for the individual. And for someone who obviously fairly busy lifestyle, pretty rubbish shoulders, played footy for most of my life, got dicky knees, all the rest of it, and a load of excuses, that for somebody to be able to customise it to what I need would really take my excuses away, make all the difference in terms of getting the result. So the customisation factor was huge, and that's what you pay for.
Yeah. To your credit, you were coachable. We get a lot of guys that come in and want customisation towards their bullshit behaviour, and they don't want to be coached. They said, well, customise it. Why is a pizza on a Sunday night not okay? It's like, well, there's nuance within that.
Well, that's the thing. And like, there are certain things that I knew I shouldn't have been doing. Like, probably shouldn't drink half a bottle of red pretty much every day. No shit. You don't need to be having pizza on a Friday night if you've already had a Parma and a couple of pints for lunch. Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
For someone to come in and say, okay, well, for the next 12 weeks, you just can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not even on the like being flexible side of things. That's just out.
Yeah.
So that's straight away. You're just like, okay, well, this has been built for me. But what is right for me is to not do those things.
Correct.
It made it very easy to follow.
Yeah. And sometimes that's the job of the coach, is to pull the client back into reality of what's possible to lose 10 kilos in 12 weeks as an aging male and still being able to actually function in the brain.
Yeah.
You know, there's calorie deficits. You know, I hear a lot of guys go, you know, all you need to do is be in a calorie deficit and you'll lose weight. It's like, sure, but like how far does that go before you actually need extra help? You know, more activity, less calories. It's like, sure, being able to swim, you need to get in the water. But
Yeah, I've done a heap of calorie counting, heaps and heaps of calorie counting. My relationship with alcohol got so bad that I was building my calorie deficits around having 2 glasses of wine. So trying to figure out how can I make everything work. Within that, I needed X amount of calories minus 2 glasses of red. And that was my food for the day. My metabolism was shot by the time I got to you guys.
That's what happens when you drink every day.
Yeah.
Many reps later.
Nice working set.
Ooh.
Incredible stuff. Before you catch your breath, I'm going to ask you a question. What was some of the stuff that you had tried before the rebuild?
Calorie counting for years. Probably 9 or 10 years calorie counting.
Wow.
Got a long track record on MyFitnessPal. Keto, Atkins, done a lot of boxing in the past. That's been really good. But it's hard to do boxing when you're 30 kilos overweight. It becomes really unpleasant. Way back when, Insanity.
Right. Not familiar with that.
One of those video things, load it up on your TV.
Wow.
Do 90 minutes of ridiculous high intensity stuff in your living room.
Fasting?
Never tried fasting.
Okay.
Knew
Any other online apps or anything like that?
No, not really. Like gym memberships here and there. I've always had an okay relationship with exercise. It's not like I've ever been lazy about the exercise thing. It was almost always about the food, really high food drive, and as I said, the problem with alcohol. I'm a researcher, so when I want to do something, I'll research it to the nth degree.
Yep.
Make sure that it's going to be worthwhile, it's going to work for me. As I said to you before, it's not so much about wasting the money, but more about wasting the time.
Yep.
Didn't want to spend months on end going nowhere. All of the things that I had tried in the past worked for me for a period of time.
Yeah.
But I can show you my weight data over 10 years. It's a very, very consistent line, straight up, with little dips down all the way through, but just constantly lose 5 and then put on 10.
Yeah.
So that's really where we ended up.
So for you, it was more about getting the calories right,
Yeah.
being able to build the metabolism and get it working for you again, as opposed to the slippery slope that you were headed down with the booze,
Yeah.
where it starts to work against you, your metabolism, that is.
And as I learned, like the quality of the food makes a difference. Like you can't, not all calories are equal, as they say. That's not a myth. So yeah, just one of those things that I'd always heard, but again, you don't know where does it fit? Is it nonsense, or does it actually work? And then loads of testimonials that said that this will work if you do it properly, and that made it easy.
Yeah, amazing. Cool. Okay, so we're done with our working set of easy bar drills. Looking incredible, man. But you never thought you'd look like that, right?
No.
Especially not this late in the game.
No.
40s, right? Quick question for you. What would your wife, kids, work colleagues say about who you are now versus who you were 25 kilos ago?
At home, definitely had a bit of a tendency to be impatient. Just wasn't happy within myself. As a typical Aussie male, you're trying not to let that come out. You don't want to express that in any way, shape or form, but ultimately, like, you can't hide it. Kids would definitely, they might not know it. I would have been a lot less patient with them. I think my wife would also agree that I'm a little calmer at home than I have been for a long time. Just one of those things when you're not really happy or comfortable in your own skin. You do tend to take it out on other people, not in big ways, but just a little bit short here and there. And
All right, so we've just hit crossbody hammer curls. Looked amazing, great job. We're moving over here to a pin-loaded tricep extension. I've got a question for you, man. If you remember, what was the exact moment where you realised you couldn't keep living how you were?
that's probably, I don't know, there's probably been 60 moments over the last 5 years. I think getting to the top of the stairs at the office and being puffed out was pretty much pretty close to the final point. But also, I had reflux constantly. all the time. Couldn't enjoy anything anymore after that. Like couldn't eat anything, not one single meal without reflux. Having a doctor tell me that your cholesterol's too high, that you need to lose a heap of weight. No, it's just loads and loads of moments.
So it wasn't one moment, they just compounded.
They just compounded. They all compounded together until you finally just go, right, no, I've got to do something.
I'll tell you what's usually the icing on the cake. Those before photos that you sent me when we started. Most guys usually have another moment and go, holy shit, I didn't realise I looked that bad.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those moments?
Yeah, like especially now, you look back at the now and you go, what? Wow. But there's like little moments now through the day where you kind of go, like you'll sit down and you'll fold your arms and suddenly they're not sitting out here. You kind of go, oh shit, like I don't have that,
On a beer belly.
don't have that big gut anymore. Where did that go? Like the kids have stopped, you know. Actually, I've got a 9-year-old, he's a bit of a pest. And he still tries to make fun of, you know, dad's fat belly, and I'm like, no mate, not anymore.
It's gone. Thing of the past.
Many reps later.
Okay, on to the final workout of the exercise, bridge your curls. But I want to ask you, where do you think you'd be, honestly, now if you didn't do a rebuild knee?
I'd be in the same spot as I was. There's no doubt about that. I'd still be trying to force half a litre of wine down my face every day.
Yeah.
I'd be spending $15-20 a day on lunch that was no good for me.
Yeah.
There's no doubt if I didn't do this, that I would just be in the same position that I was.
And final question, what would you say to anyone sceptical about doing the rebuild with us?
No, don't be skeptical anymore. Just if you feel like you need to do something, just get it done. It's just one of those. It's of all of the things that you can control in life, the shape of your body, as I've learned, is one of them. You just can't put it off any longer. I feel like you should be lighter and happier. Then you just no need to be skeptical. Just jump in and get it done. These guys have a guarantee for a reason. Just get it done.
Many reps later.